everyone, so welcome to my mastermind. I just want to introduce myself firstly. My name is Katie Godfrey and I am the owner and founder of the KG brand. So the KG brand consists of a beauty salon. We have had franchises in the past, so we had like 4 or 5 branches before. I've built salons and I've sold salons. And I also have KG Professional. So KG Professional is our training academy. So we do all beauty courses. We specialise in eyelash extensions and we have a product range that runs alongside that. Also, I'm a business mentor to the beauty and hair industry. So I offer one-on-one mentoring and we also do group mentoring also. So that is a little bit about me in short. So today I want to talk about how to work on your business rather than in your business. This is something that has completely changed my life, and so I want to share it with you to change yours. So let's get on to the PowerPoint. So I started my salon in 2009, so we're coming up to 12 years with 0 clients, okay? I had no clients. No one knew who KG was. I was close to bankruptcy. I grew a team, but I was still back to back doing treatments myself for 6 days a week, okay? I was a main earner in the salon. I started a hairdresser's, which I sold 2 years later for a big profit. I became a mummy and a single mummy at 10 weeks pregnant. While I was 10 weeks pregnant, I stepped out the salon completely and no longer done any treatments whatsoever. I opened an eyelash academy and product range, which we now sell worldwide, and we have trainers across the UK. I mentor salons across the world also, and I have a #1 best-selling book on Amazon. So why are you here today? Okay, what is it that you want to learn? If you're thinking about stepping out of your business, then it's mostly because you're feeling stuck and you don't know how to get out or how to grow, okay? Maybe you're worried or feeling guilty about leaving the salon. That's what I hear a lot of the time. They're guilty for leaving and not being there. Guilt is an unnecessary emotion, so we need to get rid of that. You don't even know how to step out of the salon or get staff. Maybe you're the main earner in the salon like I was, and you think you'll never make as much as if you're not doing treatments yourself, okay? So you carry on being behind the chair because you're the main earner and you're adamant that clients won't go to anyone else but you. And clients make you feel like that because they're like, no, I only want you, I don't want anyone else. Well, this is not true. Clients will move over and we'll go into that. So first of all, in business, we always need to find out what your why is. Okay, so have a think now, what is your why? And let's see if it's still the same why after we've done this next task, okay? So just have a couple of minutes and think about what is your why? What is your reason for life? What is the reason that you keep on building business or you're in business and why you don't give up, okay? So have a think about that just for a minute. So I'm going to do a task with you called 7 levels deep, okay? I don't know if you've heard of this before. I learnt this through Tony Robbins. I'm sure a lot of you would have heard of him. I've done a course with him and he taught me how to do this. So it's called 7 levels deep, and this is called, this is how you find your why. So why do you do what you do? So you need to ask yourself the question of why is your goal, okay? So ask yourself that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to ask yourself this 7 times. So you ask the question back. So for example, I will say, why do I want the freedom and my business to be as successful as I want it to be? Then I will reply back and say, because I like the freedom. Why do you like the freedom? And then you'll say, because I want to prove that I can have the freedom and be successful. And then you'll ask that question back, but why do you want the freedom and to be successful? When you get to ask yourself the fourth question back, you start to use your heart rather than your head, okay? So why do you want the freedom and to be successful? I want to be successful because blah, blah, blah. Well, why is that? So you keep asking the question 7 times until you get 7 levels deep and you find your true why. So when I done this properly, I figured out that my why was to make sure that I kept being successful and kept building what I wanted to build, so I didn't let the bullies win back in the day, okay? So mine stemmed from my childhood. I got severely bullied as a child. I left school with no qualifications whatsoever, and so my why has always been them to prove myself, okay? When I've done this in masterclasses with groups of people, it can get very emotional. I've had people crying, I've had people bring up the past. So you'll mostly find your why isn't what you thought it was. A lot of the time, especially if we have children, we go, oh, why is our children? They might be a reason now that we want to succeed and give them the life that we want to give them. But your deepest why most probably isn't them, they're just part of that now. Okay, so your why normally comes back to your childhood or your parents or something that happened in the past. So really ask yourself the question and then re-ask yourself the question, okay, 7 times until you find your why. If anyone gets stuck on this, please feel free to contact me privately and I can re-ask you the questions back and get deep with you, and we'll be able to find out what your why is. When you know what your why is, you will be unstoppable. Okay, so just in short, because this will help you with the mastermind, a little bit about my story, okay, and why I preach what I preach. So like I said, I was working 6 days a week and I was lashing back to back and having a team of 5. So in my salon, we do all beauty treatments, but I used to always specialise in lashes. That was my thing. So I had a team of 5, but I was in there still 6 days a week and lashing back to back. I fell pregnant. So when I fell pregnant, like I said in the last slide, I left my daughter's dad when I was 10 weeks pregnant. And so I decided within that time, I needed to move my entire client base over because I wanted the time between being pregnant and going on maternity, knowing the salon can run itself on its own. So within 2 months, I moved my whole database over to my staff. I was doing 0 clients when I was pregnant, and when my little girl was born, I still went back to do no treatments whatsoever. I was just managing the business. It let me concentrate on the business and grow my business and actually just let that time be with me and my daughter. So I had that time being a mummy. Whereas obviously if I had to go back and do treatments, I would have done treatments up until she was born, and then straight after she was born, I would have mostly had to go back again. The mistake I made was I went back to work on Saturdays after about a year, okay? Purely out of, I didn't have her every other weekend, so I went back on Saturdays because I was like, and what am I going to do with myself? I might as well work. And that was a big mistake I made, because all of the clients knew that I was back in every other Saturday and they only wanted me, which then took away treatments for my staff to do. So it was a big, big mistake, okay? I then started not being able to fit the clients in my column, so I started doing more days and more days. And before you knew it, I was doing every Saturday rather than every other Saturday. And then I went back to doing a Friday, when before that I was doing no clients. So what was I doing? I was getting myself back in that trap again. I made the decision to leave again and never, ever do a column of clients again. And what my turning point was, is there was a reason, I can't remember what it was, but I had to not work a Saturday because I had to take my daughter somewhere. And she said to me, "Mummy, I just have loved this weekend because I've been with you." Obviously she was in nursery during the week from a young age, and then she was either every other weekend with me or every other weekend with her dad. So she never spent a whole weekend with me because the Saturdays I would have her, I would be at work. So When she said that to me, my heart went, okay. I'd never spent a weekend with my daughter for however long. I needed to get back out. So the guilt I had for not being in the salon completely went onto the guilt of not being with my daughter. And for you, this might be for family. Maybe you're not with your family at weekends and you'd love to do that. So I didn't go back to the salon doing clients. I carried on managing the salon and the staff, and I do not work weekends anymore. And it's been like that for about 3 years, 2-3 years. So I'm running 4 businesses quite easily now. It's actually 5 businesses now. And I have the time now to do that because I'm not stuck behind a chair. Okay, so when you're not stuck behind the chair and you're managing the business, you have so much freedom to either progress in the business that you're already working on, or to open up more, or to just have some free time. So, are you a salon owner or are you an entrepreneur? So this is what will make a big difference in how you think, okay? So 80% of us are salon owners. There's 20% of us that are entrepreneurs, which is why only 20% of us have profitable businesses, okay? Only 20% of us have profitable businesses. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. And you would have heard this many, many times, but it's so true, okay? So let's go through what the differences are between a salon owner and an entrepreneur, and then see what you are more of. So a salon owner, we're stuck behind their businesses because their business financially depends on them, okay? We keep saying we will step away, but years later, we are still in the same position. We're bringing in the most money, but we are the most underpaid, okay? Most common thing, our staff will be on higher wages than we are. We keep repeating the same strategies over and over again for a different result. But if it's the same, obviously it's going to be no different in result, right? So we need to change that. We are trapped in a comfort zone of a safety net. We're working harder and harder, but not smarter. So most of us are working our asses off day and night. We're not working smart. An entrepreneur, working solely on the business or businesses, okay? So they don't work in the company, they're working on the company. They expand their knowledge, they're constantly learning. They are always moving forward, okay, always. And they're making business decisions, not popularity decisions. So if you're making a business decision, that is the best way to go. Are we just saying yes to something because it makes us look good? Or are we saying yes to something because it's a smart business move? Which one is it? We take risks, okay? We wouldn't be where we are today in business if we didn't take risks, okay? We need to get out of our comfort zone. Risk is key. They get bigger and bigger without staying stationary, okay? So we get bigger and bigger, and most just stay still and, you know, don't get bigger. And we recognise when we need help. It's okay to need help, okay? And when we need help, we need to ask for it, because asking for help and learning is the only way to grow. So that is the difference between a salon owner and an entrepreneur. So which one are you? And it's okay to be the 80% of salon owners, because we're going to teach you how to be an entrepreneur, and you're going to change your mindset to turn into that, to be more profitable, okay? To be in that 20% of profitable businesses. So having a team is key, and it is the only way to grow. So you can see this is my beautiful team, and I've had a team from 6 months into my business, and it takes time to grow a team and to get the right team. So a big thing that we come across is employment. So employment versus self-employment, okay? So I'm going to quickly go through the pros and the cons of that. So in employment pros, we can build a brand, okay? You cannot build a brand with self-employment, but with employment, we can build a brand. We know exactly how much our payroll is. Everyone works as a team. We have full control over the working hours. We have full control, full stop. We make a lot more money, okay? A lot more money. And we can tell our team to wear whatever uniform or whatever it is that we want them to do, okay? So that is the pros for employment. So in a nutshell, we're going to have full control over our business when we have employed members of staff. The employment cons are, we have to pay national insurance and tax, okay, on top of their wages. We have to pay pensions. We have to pay holiday and sickness. We have to pay maternity. And we also have to pay the staff even if they don't have appointments. So a lot of the time, this is what people find scary, and they focus on these cons because they think, oh, this is going to cost me way too much money. Okay, it's going to be way too much. I'm not going to be able to afford that. I'm not going to be able to do that. But that is the benefits of someone being employed. Okay, but look at all the pros of being employed, how you want to run your business, what say you want to do, how you want the staff to work, what hours that you want them to do, what they want them to look like, how you want them to greet clients. Every single thing you have control on. Self-employed, I've got a toolbar at the bottom of my page and I have to keep moving it. So self-employment pros, you can see there's not really a lot. You don't have to worry about their national insurance and tax. That's their responsibility. You don't have to worry about the holiday pay. So when they go on holiday, they don't get paid nothing, okay? And they can come and go as they want. So if they don't have an appointment, they can go. It's not going to cost you. Self-employment cons, okay? They're running their business within your business. So if you have a business and you mother your business and you know exactly how you want your business to look and feel, someone else is now going to come into that and run their own business within yours, okay? You have no control at all with what they do. They can wear what they wish. They can turn up when they wish. They can cancel on clients when they want. They can take clients elsewhere. It's misleading to customers, which is when people book appointments through the salon, they normally think it's through the salon. So if there is any complaints, it comes back to the salon owner. Whereas if people are self-employed, unless you make it extremely clear, the complaints and the just not so good stuff that goes round about the therapist will come back on your salon, because people will just automatically think that person works for the salon. You won't ever be able to step away from the business because you're not earning enough money. If you're just renting space, you won't ever be earning enough money to step out of the business at all. So they are the cons. So if you weigh them up, you know employment is going to be a lot better, okay? A lot of people think self-employment is just a lot easier, and to an extent it is a lot easier because you don't have to do anything with them. You're not building a team. You don't have to pay the extra cost. So it is easier, but you won't be able to get where you want to by building a brand, building a company, stepping out of the salon, having freedom if you are having self-employed staff. Okay, so I'm going to do the maths. Let's talk about Sarah. So we employed Sarah and she works 41 hours a week at, let's say, £8 an hour. Our average treatment cost is £30 an hour. So if Sarah is booked up all of them hours, she is going to bring in £1,230 a week. You pay Sarah £328. which gives you, after her salary, 902. So when she's booked up and she's earned all of that money, you earn £902, Sarah earns £328. Then you let, sorry about my dog, then you let Sarah rent a chair for £50 a day for 5 days a week. Let me just shut that door. Then you let Sarah rent a chair for £50 a day, 5 days a week. This gives you a stable income of £250 a week. Okay, so every week, you know, you're getting £250. Then you did a 50-50 split with Sarah. Okay, so this is very common. You did a 50-50 split with Sarah. She made £1,230 again per week, and she took home 615, and you took home 615. Plus you had to buy all of her stock, advertise her, etc. Okay, so looking at this, which one do you think is more beneficial? Obviously it's going to be the employment, and it makes it a lot easier and not blurring the lines, because sometimes when you do 50-50 split, you give them benefits of employment, so sharing stock, they might be using your system, etc., and it's not actually allowed when you are doing self-employment. So you just need to make sure it's doing it right. If I was going to do anything, I'd say either employment or renting a chair and making it completely separate. But obviously you can see renting a chair, you'll have a stable income, but you definitely won't be earning as much money. So hopefully that will help you out a little bit to decide which one you want to do. So we're going to talk about how to recruit and what type of team do you want. Okay, so using social media and Indeed.com is what we have personally always found really successful. Okay, you want to make sure that you look through every single person's CVs and you want to shortlist the best applicants to review and to interview and conduct interviews. Okay, so never like just get every single person in, because it might be like it just might not be any good. So just make sure you definitely look at their CVs. What are they qualified in, etc.? Are they going to be, do you think so far they're going to be suitable for the team? If they are, call them on the phone first, get a vibe for them over the phone, and then get them in for an interview. A lot of people find interview questions really difficult. So these are the interview questions that I personally always ask. So find out what they do now and why did they apply for the job. What do they know about your salon or company at the moment? Key thing, some people come in for interviews and they have no idea about your business. They've done no research whatsoever about the company. For me, that's a complete off-put. I like to know that they've done the research, they're passionate about the company before they've started, and they just basically know like the details of the company. What treatments are they qualified in? Obviously, we need to know that. What is their least favourite treatments and their most favourite treatments? A lot of people go, oh no, we just like all of them. They mostly don't. They will have a favourite and they will have their least favourite. And the reason I ask this is because your salon might do more of a certain treatment than another treatment. So if they like that the least, they're not going to absolutely put their all into that treatment. So you need to make sure that your salon is obviously offering the treatments that this therapist likes to do the most. What is their next 5-year goal? Okay, so the reason I ask this is because, do you think we want to hire anyone that says, my 5-year goal is to open my own salon? Do you think we're going to hire that person? Now, I am all for ambition, goals, people wanting to set up their own businesses. Of course, I'm a business mentor. I teach this. I help people progress. And I also help my team progress, as in treatments and, you know, in their career. But if someone wants to open their own salon within 5 years, that means they're coming to me for all of the training. I'm going to teach them everything for them then to leave, most probably take the clients, and then to open up their salon, right? So they just might not be suitable for my salon. My team stay for a long, long time. One of my team members has been with me for 11 years. So if she told me 11 years ago that her goal was to open a salon in 5 years, I most probably wouldn't have hired her. Not saying I definitely wouldn't ask. There are some people that say that, but you know, they might not get to that point. So just really look at what their goal is. Is that going to be treading on your toes? Are they the right person to hire? What drives them? Money isn't the motivator for everyone, okay? Some people it's praise, some people it's lots of training. Like, everyone's motivation and drive is different. So find out what drives them. Are they interested in extra training? Are they happy with just staying how they are, don't really want to progress anymore? Or are they happy with training? A lot of you might take on stuff that need extra training. I've never ever taken on a staff member that doesn't. So they need to be willing to obviously learn. What was their attendance like in their last job? Very important. We all know in our industry, we can't just drop the client last minute. Obviously, people do become ill, that's a natural thing, and nothing we can do about that. But we want to make sure that they're not off all the time with just a cold. And do they have any references? So references are key, okay? A lot of people bypass this and don't bother getting references, but references are a must. So this is where you call their last job or their college tutor or whatever that is to see, like, get a download of them and their work ethic. When you've done your interview, always make sure that the girls that you like, you get back in for a trade test. Never ever hire someone without a trade test. Someone might be really confident, amazing, and tell you everything you want to hear in a face-to-face interview. But when they come to doing their treatments, they might not be as good. So make sure that it matches up and you do a trade test. Preparing your clients to leave the salon floor. So this is my salon here. It looks so pretty, doesn't it? But we need to prepare the clients for you to leave, okay? Because like I said, you're most probably the busiest, the main earner. The clients have always had you since you've been there, but now we need to make sure that they'll go over to someone else. So first of all, we need to make sure we set a date, okay? Do you have a staff member now that you're going to be able to hand over your clients to, or do you need extra staff members, okay? Then you need to make a date that you are going to set in your diary that you are not going to do clients from that day, okay? So put it in your diary now, and then you know that's going to be your goal. And you're going to stick to that date, okay? So the date should be in the diary now. That is the date that you are no longer working on the salon floor. You're going to make a list of jobs for your team. So I bet a lot of us mother our staff, and we do all the little things, because as entrepreneurs or business owners, we can be control freaks, right? So we want to do all the little things, but you're not going to be there to be able to do that. So you're going to have to hand it over to your team. So you are going to make a jobs list for the team, and they're going to share it out between them. And I have allocated people for each job role. Okay, so you can obviously put your own list together, but ours includes buying supplies like milk and coffee. I don't know about you, but when I was working in the salon, it was all about, oh God, I've got to quickly get the coffee. No one else thought of it, or the milk's gone off, that type of thing. So someone has that job role now to check the milk and coffee, and that's their thing. Checking voicemails in the morning, so make sure someone's got the job role to always make sure that they check the voicemails in the morning. Chasing patch tests, doing stock checks, managing stock or ordering stock, managing window display. So if you've got a window display that needs changing all the time, you might pick someone creative within the team to take control of that. Make sure everything is switched off at night is one of my key things. Loads of times we've gone in the salon and there's things left on overnight, etc. So you need to make sure that you delegate this to 1 or 2 people to go around the salon and make sure everything's switched off, rather than the next day you're telling the team something was left on all night and everyone's blaming each other. So you just have a set person whose job role that is. Cashing up, so making sure that you are choosing someone that you trust completely to do the cashing up. It is not something that we need to do as salon owners every single day. Go into our salon, make sure we cash up. We need to trust our team to be able to do this. And then of course, locking up. So a certain amount of people will have keys, and they will be the people that be able to lock up the salon. Planning a team meeting. So you should be doing regular team meetings anyway. If you don't, then we need to make sure that you're starting this as soon as possible. So you already have a date for stepping out of the salon, and now we need to tell the team everything, what our plans are and what are the reasons for stepping out of the salon. Okay, so we need to explain to them that you stepping out the salon is going to make them more busier. You're trusting them to step out, for you to step out the salon. You're trusting them to do all of the jobs that you needed to do. You're trusting them with your clients. Okay, so they will know how busy you are, how important your clients are to you. You're trusting to hand over these. If they are more busy, they get more pay rises, right? Because they're more busy. So really sell that to them of the plus points of you stepping out the salon is to make the salon busier. You are needed elsewhere in the company now. And if they're more busier, it's going to mean they're hitting targets, commissions, pay rises. And so it'll just get them on your team of why you're stepping out of the salon. Okay, so now for the clients, we have to obviously tell the clients that we're leaving, which is what you guys will find the hardest. Okay, we've told the team what's going on, and now we need to tell the clients. So you've set your date. So each time you'll see your clients, you're going to tell them what's happening and the date that you're stepping out. Okay, and we're going to reassure the clients. So when I told my clients I was stepping out, obviously I was pregnant, so they couldn't say anything anyway, so it did make it a little bit more easier, but I didn't have to step out straight away. I stepped out months and months earlier, and they were okay with that. So really reassure them of you are still there, okay? Even though you're not doing their treatments, you're still on the other line of the phone, and you will be there if there's any problems whatsoever. So just reassure them. You're doing your treatment up until this date, but after this date, it's going to go over to Sarah. I don't know why I keep picking Sarah. So just make sure that you're giving them every step of the way. You're leaving because the salon is really busy. It needs me in other areas, and I need to make sure that I'm concentrating on that. So that's all you really need to say, okay? If you're still doing a day a week in the salon, so a lot of people that I work with decide that, oh, I can't not do treatment at all. I need to still do a day a week or 2 days a week. If you are doing that, make sure you keep to the hours that you've chosen, because obviously there's going to be limited space. So if you do find that you're working still X amount of days but not full time, your clients will always want to ram in to the times that you are in. So you'll either extend and work lots and lots of extra hours to try and fit them in, which is completely defeating the object, or you need to be really strict with clients, which you do. Personally, I always say step out completely rather than doing part and part. But obviously I know this is a process, and you might want to just do part-time to then go down to nothing, which is fine. But what you will find is when you see that the salon take-ins are still the same, when you see that you haven't lost any clients, when you see that you have more free time to work on the business, you won't want to work them extra days that you're working. So bear that in mind. You will want to come out full-time when you can, okay? Clients will always make out that we'll only have you, and this is the scariest thing for us, because like, well, they're saying they'll only have us, so then they're going to leave. But they won't, because they will rather go to someone that you trust, that you've trained, that's under your name, than go to either not have a treatment at all or go to a different salon. So trust the process. If you help them go over to another therapist and you reassure them, they won't leave, okay? I didn't lose any clients when I stepped out the salon, and they are all still there years later. Guilt. So I've just put this in here. You can read this yourself, but guilt is one of the other big reasons I see in salon owners is they don't want to leave because they feel guilty. They feel guilty they're leaving their clients. They feel guilty they're leaving the staff. They feel like if they're not physically working in the salon, that they have to justify themselves to everyone else of what they're doing at home, and you don't, okay? Guilt is just an emotion, and a made up emotion that you don't need to take on board. So any guilt out there, try and get out your head, because you'll feel so much better when you let that go. So now we're going to talk about where are you going to work, okay? So I would suggest leaving the salon completely. The salon owners I work with that have an office in the salon, they find that they get disturbed quite a lot. So it's always best to physically leave the salon, okay? So you might have a home office, or you might want to set up a little area. So I've got a little area at my home now, and that's where I do everything from. A coffee shop is always good to sometimes just get out there. Sometimes I like to go to a Starbucks and just sit and work there if I need to do things on my laptop. A living room, but make sure you have no TV on, okay? If you are working from home, that's all good. Lots of us know how to do that now, but make sure you're not getting distracted, okay? So I will never have my TV on the day because I know that's going to distract me. So make sure you keep it off so you can sit on your sofa and work. You can sit on your bed and work, but make sure you have no distractions around, and it's something that you know that you keep motivated. If you have got a little home area where you can sit at a table and do stuff on, make sure that you have like little motivational stuff around, because sometimes working from home can be quite hard. So you just need to make sure that you're keeping motivated all of the time. Okay. So what next? You've set a date, you prepped your staff, you've prepped your clients, and now the date is here. You've left. Okay, so a lot of the time I find people leave the salon floor, they're really busy normally because they've been doing all of the clients all day, all week, they're going home and catching up on payroll and bits of marketing, etc. And they're just busy. So once they step out and now they're working from home, they're thinking, well, now what do? I don't even know what to do with myself. And sometimes it can be quite overwhelming. So what are we going to do with this free time that we have? Because we need to make sure we're still working, right? So now we're going to concentrate on our marketing. Marketing is going to make your salon grow, okay? It's going to make you get busier. It's going to gain new clients. It's going to keep clients consistent, okay? Because clients are you're going to remember who you are. It's going to keep your brand in front of clients' minds. It's going to make sure you stand out from everyone else, and it's going to grow the company, okay? Marketing is key. We all need to do marketing. So what different ways of marketing is there? Social media. So obviously we'll do a whole separate course on social media, but social media is key. But first of all, this is some top tips of why you should be working on social media. Social needs to be sociable, right? It's called social media for a reason. People don't like to be sold at, first of all. So make sure you're not selling at your database on your social media. You need to be consistent. So if you post once a week, post once a week. If you post twice a day, post twice a day. However it is that you post, just make sure you're consistent, okay? Post for your audience. So really think about who your audience is and make sure you post for them. If there's not something your audience don't want to see, then they won't comment, they won't like, and your post will just disappear. So you need to make sure you're writing for your audience. A lot of the time, let's say for lash artists, just because that's what my treatment is, lash artists will talk about the thickness or the length or technical terms of the lash extensions, but clients don't care. They don't care. They just want to know how fluffy they look, okay? They don't really care about all the technical terms. It's going to go right over their head. Whereas that's really good if you've got a training academy or you're a trainer, because people will want to know them things. So really just make sure you are talking to your audience, okay? Always tag your location. This will give you 70% more reach, okay? So make sure you tag your location at all times, and you can change up your location also. Make sure you're adding up to 30 hashtags. You can't do hashtags on Facebook, they just don't work, but you can do hashtags on Instagram, okay? So it will make you be found more. Add in personal information. So I'm not saying to put your whole life on the gram, but I'm asking you to just show that you're real, okay? People buy from people, people don't buy from business, okay? So make sure you're just being real on there. If you might have a page where it's just full of treatments and people don't actually know who you are. Stick a photo up of yourself, introduce yourself, make things a little bit personal. Build a brand. So branding is key. Again, that is a separate business. So make sure you're building a brand, make sure everything's consistent, everything looks the same. You've got brand colors, a brand feel. Building a brand is key. Good images. So just make sure the quality of your images is good, okay? Don't just be putting up images for the sake of it. Make sure they're good. Are they showing off the treatment to perfection? Is it something that you think your clients like to see, and you know it's a good picture? A profile picture. Make sure your profile picture is either a clear headshot of yourself or it is your logo. Okay, a logo is always a really good one for obviously a business page. But if it's a set of nails, a set of lashes, a hair style, no one can see that because the profile picture is like this small. So you need to make sure that it's eye-catching for something that is that small. Make sure your profile information is clear. So a lot of times, if any of you go onto my pages, which is KG Salon or KG Professional, you can see I basically bullet point with emojis. That works really well. Add quotes. So everyone loves a quote, okay? So add quotes. You can personalize them. You'll get interaction when you use quotes. Add testimonials. So I don't really put them on my actual profile, but I add them to stories, and we find that they work really well. People want to see, you know, what's going on in the business, how clients feel, etc. So add testimonials to stories, very important. And add tips and aftercare. People like to know like how to wash their lashes, how is best to wash their hair, how to use a product, what tips there are to make their hair grow, literally anything at all, okay? So make sure you're adding tips and advice and aftercare. It's not just about selling, okay? It's not just about booking up your diaries or selling a product. There is so much more to social media. Then we've got keeping our website updated. If you haven't got a website, you need a website. If you are searching for a service or a product, do you go on social media or do you go on Google? I'm pretty sure most of us go on Google. So we need to be searchable in the search engines. You need to make sure that you keep your website constantly updated, okay? When you're updating it, it means you'll be higher on Google, so you'll be seen more. Update salon photos, so people don't want to go on there and see old decor, old treatments. Make sure that's updated at all times. Change the wording every now and then on your website. So just go in on and make sure that your sentences are still making sense. There's nothing else that you need to add, and just change the wording around every now and then because it will just be like an update in the system. Add a blog page. This is what a lot of people miss, is adding a blog page. Blogs will see you as a specialist person. You need to tell them what's going on in the salon. Maybe there's new treatments. Maybe you want to give them hints and tips. So always add a blog page. Add testimonials, another important one. There should be a section on your website where you can see the testimonials, or you might have an actual page on your website with a list of all the testimonials. Make sure your spelling and grammar is 100% correct, very important. I'm personally dyslexic, okay? I need absolutely everything proofreading, otherwise everything would look a mess. I'm really bad. So that's okay if you can't spell or your grammar isn't good, just make sure that someone else is looking over it also. Blogging. So I said this on the last slide, but blogging is so important, okay? So you can have a blog page, you can have a blog on your website, you can use your blogs on social media. It keeps your website ranking higher, and it also will see you as an expert, okay? And people go to experts, they trust experts, so it's very, very important. What should you blog about? Okay, so bloggers, we need to think about, what do our readers want to read? What do our clients want to read? Okay, they want to read how to do tips, before and after pictures they want to see, and the story behind it. Industry stories, so is there anything going on in the industry at the moment you could share? Educational posts, they want to know the education behind things, and anything, the research that comes up or anything that comes in the papers, you know, blog about it. Anything you can write about, and you'll soon be able to see who's kind of reading your blog, what stories do they like to hear, what blogs are more successful, and then you can write more around that. Networking events, something I absolutely hate, but we have to get out of our comfort zone, okay? I'm sure none of us really like going into an event on our own or a breakfast meeting and we don't know anyone. You've got to stand up and introduce yourself, and it's just all really awkward, right? But we need to get out of our comfort zone, and networking is key because that will turn into recommendations. So if you do have like local places in your area, there will be like NatWest business meetups, there's breakfast clubs, there's women in business, there's loads of different networking events. Go to them, get out of your comfort zone, go and meet new people, and it'll be amazing what you see that turn into. Team meetings. So we need to make sure that we are doing team meetings, if we can, every 2 weeks, which would be amazing. But if not, definitely every month, okay? So we will not ever go longer than a month with a team meeting. We need to make sure that we plan our team meetings, okay? A team meeting isn't a serious thing. We don't want a team meeting to be like a bollocking or a telling off. A team meeting is our teams just getting together, going over what's happening in the business. If there is anything that we need to obviously voice to make better, then we will, but it's also making sure that it's motivating for them, okay? We need to make sure it's motivating so they're not worried about team meetings and it's a fun thing. My team love our team meetings, so make sure that it's like that for yours. We can update them on the business. If there's any new products coming out or treatments, then we update them then. We have something called above and beyond. So if there's anyone that month that's really shined out and they've just done something completely off their own back, like it might be paint a wall or, you know, something that's not even anything to do with their job role and they've just gone out and done it, that's an above and beyond. So just acknowledge them on that. We have a spotlight product. So there'll be a team member which will pick a product that's their favorite and tell the team about the product. Okay, and this will just make all the rest of the team listen to then take in what this team member is saying about that product, which then they'll mostly go on and sell. Okay, so spotlight product. And then we also read out customer reviews. So if we send all the customer reviews to our WhatsApp group that we have anyway, but I also like to read them out, and it just, you know, it makes your team still feel special and you know that they've definitely heard everything. One-to-ones, very, very important also. Not many salons do them, but this is a chance to go through your figures, okay? Get more personal with your staff member. So go through figures, set individual targets. You might have team targets, but what's their individual target? They might be falling behind slightly, so you might need to just set things differently. It's a time to praise them, motivate them, and also a chance to go through any concerns that you need to one-on-one, rather than going through concerns on a team meeting, which might be slightly awkward for them. So it's just a really good time to spend one-on-one time with your team members. Salaries and accounts. So who does their own accounts? Who does their own salaries? If you do or you don't, either way, you need to know your figures, okay? So I have an accountant and she will do all my bookkeeping for me and all of my end of year. And I also have someone that does payroll. So I don't do any of that, but I still know my figures inside out, okay? It's extremely, extremely important. I need to know how much I'm taking a week, how much I'm taking a month, how much I'm taking a year. If you don't know these figures, then we need to look at them. I also need to know what the retention rates are for my team. What's the rebooking rates for my team? How many no-shows are we getting a week? So all of these things is what we need to know. So you don't need to be an accountant. You don't need to do your books or, you know, your normal bookkeeping, but I do need you to know your figures. You cannot grow a company without this. So it's extremely important. Visit your salon unannounced. So you've stepped out now. We need to now go back in the salon unannounced and see how the salon is running without you. Okay, it's always good when you keep the team on their toes. When is Kate turning up? Is she going to turn up today? Maybe she won't turn up today. We don't know. So we just need to make sure that we're keeping them on their toes. And so we can go in there and look at the salon, how a client looks at the salon. Okay, so how does a client view your salon? When you aren't in there every day and you're not busy with a client, you will look at your salon very differently. You will see how it's running without you. Is it clean? Are the girls on time for their treatments? Are they filling out the consultation forms like they should? Are they rebooking their clients? Are they taking payments right? These visits will give you lots to talk about on your team meetings. So sometimes when I work from home, I'm not really getting any ideas through unless I'm seeing things on the system or CCTV or the managers relaying stuff back to me. But when I go in there, that's when I gather all my thoughts together and get ideas for the team meeting, okay? Or jobs that need doing around the salon. It also gives you new ideas to grow the salon and change anything, or you might need to update decor. It just gives you a different perspective on your salon because you'll see it differently rather than just coming in, rushing, doing your clients, doing your treatment, going home, because you don't have to do that. So you have the creative space to be able to look at everything. Watch your salon grow. So putting your full attention into your salon marketing, advertising and staffing, you will see your company grow dramatically, okay? So it is full time looking after a team. So if you have a bigger team, or even if you have a couple members of team, it takes a lot of time and they need you. They need you 100%, not just when you're not doing treatment. So when you're stepping out, they will have your undivided attention. You need to stay focused, okay? So I personally work from my phone calendar, and I have jobs in there every single day that I need to complete before the end of the day, and that's what keeps me focused, okay? We have so many thoughts running through our heads that we need to make sure that we're keeping focused and we're noting down what jobs we need to get through that day. So that always really helps. Make yourself accountable, okay? The biggest thing in business, when it comes to us, we never want to invest ourselves or do anything for us. We're always really busy doing things for others, but we need to make sure we are making ourselves accountable, and that is the biggest thing that is going to keep you focused and successful. Tell someone what you're working on. Tell someone your goals. Tell someone your dreams, and you will most probably end up doing it, or you will do it 90% more than if you didn't tell someone, okay? So think, if you've got an idea right now and you don't tell anyone about it, you might do it, but it might take a lot longer to do it. Or you might just think about it and never do it because you haven't told anyone. The second you tell someone, oh God, I've told that person, I now need to make sure I action it, okay? Or if I tell my team, they're then going to keep asking me about it, so I'm going to have to do it. So just make sure you're making yourself accountable. How do you do this? A friend, your parents, your partner, team members, a networking group, or a business mentor. Tell as many people as you can. Make yourself accountable, okay? Sometimes I go to social media, okay? I'll do a lot of stories. We've got quite a lot of followers. So if I say something on social media, I know there's lots of people that have heard that. I now need to make sure I do it. So that is my presentation today. I hope you got a lot out of it. This is something that I teach a lot, okay, stepping out your business, it's my speciality, and I just hope that give you hints and tips to be able to do that. And it's something that I work a lot on with my one-to-one students, and we work on a yearly basis to be able to get them stepping out of their salon, okay? So you can join if you wanted to and become a member today. I only have limited spaces because we only take X amount of salon owners on a year, so I can give you all my undivided attention. It's normally $2,000 a year, but the special price after doing this is $1,200. So if you're interested, then just drop me a message on social media, or you can email me at katie@kgsalon.com. But I hope you enjoyed it, guys. And if there's any questions at all, please let me know. My inbox is always open for any help that you might need. And I really, really, really look forward to seeing you step out your business and making your business grow. Thank you so much.